Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the afternoon. Let's just call it SHTF in our world, folks. It's showtime. It's SHTF time. Folks, I want to thank you for putting up with the intros. I know that a lot of people don't show up for a couple of minutes, and it's nice to have those little clips there. They're professionally done. In fact, we have a lot of great work done behind the scenes by Jolene, by Ooman, and by Mr. T, who does a lot of these great bumpers. And he's done the commercials, he's done the intros. Jolene's done some intros. As of late, we've all been working on some new t-shirt designs. So I'm going to be introducing those here pretty quick. I'm going to have some proofs for you, and then we're going to have some. You're just going to love it, folks. You're going to love them. They're good. Anyways, the commercials for the club. Folks, give the gift of being prepared. You're going to go shopping anyways. Give the gift of being prepared. I mean, yeah, everyone loves to get a new DVD player. Do they even have those things anymore? Everyone loves technology, but yeah, when it comes right down to it, having a good knife or a good flashlight, having a handful of ammunition, or maybe a mouthful of good prepper chow, that's probably going to be much more satisfying when that time comes. But for now, let's just talk about how they're taking us down that long, dusty, dark, shitty road of SHTF. The White House correspondent for a major news firm has just tweeted, folks, get this, the CDC, that's the Centers for Disease Control, they've identified the first case of the Omicron in the U.S. Omicron is some kind of new, scary cerveza bug. It's in the U.S. It's now in California, according to a source. It's now being repeated across many news networks, so I figured it was safe to talk about it. Yes, the unicorn virus is here, folks. But, wait a minute. Isn't California all masked up? Doesn't matter, it flew in from South Africa. But if California is fully masked, and if California has the Jim Jones juice, what's there to worry about? Why is anyone worried at all? Well, John, this is different, because every time something new comes out, well, your body has to figure it out. Well, our bodies have figured it out for centuries and millennia. But of course, this time we're supposed to believe our bodies can't handle the truth. You can't handle it. Big trouble. The CDC has reported that the individual was returning from South Africa, and they were also fully juicinated and had mild symptoms, right? The individual is now self-quarantining. I love that, self-quarantining. You mean they're quarantining themselves, or they're being forced to be quarantined? See, there's a difference between being quarantined by the government and being quarantined at your own recommendation. You know, I mean, if you say they're staying in their own home and that's self-quarantining, I guess that is different than Australia, where you don't have any fucking choice. They come and arrest your ass and take you to a quarantine camp. Yeah, I'm sure look, America, I'm a president dumbass, and you will either self-quarantine, lock yourselves down. You have to voluntarily destroy your own life, or we're going to come and do it to you. It's your choice. America is the land of free choice. Self-quarantine, or we're going to put you in a FEMA camp. That's a beautiful choice of two options, huh? So the CDC wants the people of the United States of America to believe that the unicorn virus doesn't care about your Jim Jones juice. The unicorn virus doesn't care that you're fully juicinated. So you will need a new anti-unicorn juice in addition to all the other juices and boosters you're getting out there. Folks, I guess we don't care about Cerveza 19. And when did you last hear about the Delta variant? That's right. This week's story is all new for us to bite our nails and hide behind Mama Biden's poopy skirt and beg for Dr. Dipshit to calm our fears with his newest wisdom. Folks, It's all a sham. It's about control. And it's about the destruction of our rights, our Constitution, and our nation. Mark my words, don't forget it, right? It's incredible, folks. No one even calls what I talk about fear porn anymore. Oh, John, it said just fear. You're just trying to scare people into thinking that our rights are going to be destroyed by the government. Oh, shit, the rights are being destroyed by the government. We don't have any rights. We never did. These leftists are incredible, the bullshit they come up with, right? They just make shit up as they go. Like this. Did you know that Biden is restarting the Cold War? But not with an actual enemy like China. Instead, it's going to be against Russia, which was the Soviet Union at one point. And before that, it was Russia. Right? So Russia has retaliated, which means they got hit and they're hitting back. Russia retaliated and has ordered U.S. diplomats out of their country because the U.S. has expelled Russian diplomats. Interesting, huh? Did you know that was going on? Did you know that we're really firing up the Cold War? The anti-Russia, U.S. hates Russia, Europe hates Russia narrative is now firing up. Pay attention, folks. One of these days, something's going to happen. Someone's going to fuck up. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's been aircraft close to Russia that have been warned away. There have been naval skirmishes that don't involve firing, but a lot of threats because the U.S. has invaded Russian waters. Russia is now saying, we're going into full production with our hypersonic missiles. It's showtime, folks. And those hypersonic missiles, they can't be taken down by any Iron Dome or any Patriot missile system. And I'm not trying to say America isn't capable of doing impressive things with military armament. But what have we been doing besides giving $85 billion in equipment and armaments and drones and military helicopters to the Taliban? Oh, that's right. Remember when that was part of the news? Remember when that was prime time, showtime? Not anymore. We got other things to worry about, like the unicorn virus. It's like their heads just, they can't think about more than one thing in the media. There is so much going on, folks. So much going on. Well, overseas, but the snowflakes here in this country, the snowflakes right here in the United States of America, their heads are about to go and go nuclear. Understand this, folks. They are more concerned about abortion rights than they are about a working economy or our other rights. Abortion rights are real. You can't deny abortion rights. Let's see, First Amendment, there's no rights there. Second Amendment, there's no rights there. Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, 10th, those rights don't count for shit. The only rights that matter are abortion rights. That's what liberals sound like. That's all I fucking hear from them. The only rights they're concerned with is the right to kill unborn babies. Well, get this. Supreme Court Justice, and I like calling him this, Clarence Thomas. He has terrified the left today with one sentence. And it wasn't even a statement, folks. It was a fucking question. Right? Who on the court best understands logic? Right? If you can create a legal firestorm with one question, if you can open the Pandora's can of worms wide open with one question, that begs the question, in my mind, of how sacred was this Roe versus Wade decision, right? One question, Clarence Thomas gets it. He's usually silent, but he has made these liberal lunatics fucking livid. And you want to know, right? You want to know what the question is. Well, I'm sure the KKK Grand Dragon Democrat Senator Robert Byrd His admirers like Hillary Clinton and all the other racist Democrat scum, I'm sure they hate Clarence Thomas before this question. But the current preeminent true constitutional scholar of the Supreme Court of the United States appears to be Clarence Thomas. And boy, does he have a doozy. Are you prepared for this? It was very simple. A simple question to invalidate all leftist arguments. Does a mother have a right to ingest drugs and harm a pre-viable baby? Can the state bring child neglect charges against the mother? The answer to that question is yes. Yes. A mother does not have a right to ingest drugs, and the state can bring charges. Now, if you're an intelligent human being, you understand the question. And if you're an ignorant human being, you understand the question and don't like the answer. The Supreme Court is currently, folks, reviewing a Mississippi law that would ban nearly all abortions after 15 weeks. Texas has its heartbeat law. Once a baby has a heartbeat, it's now a living human being inside of another human being. Interesting, like my children are living inside of the bunker with me. Well, just because they're in my bunker, does that mean I have a right to kill them? Just because a baby is living inside someone's body, do they have a right to kill them? The answer in both cases is no, because in both cases, the children at question have heartbeats. They're living beings. And states have always held that you don't have the right to ingest drugs and harm pre-viable babies, right? They can call that child neglect. How about if you take drugs and the baby is killed? They call that murder. They call that homicide. Simple question. It's been there the whole time. It's just the question has never come before the court, but now it is. Now, speaking of questions that have come before the court, remember Obamacare. Remember that when Obama was president and it was showtime. Let's talk about access to medical care. It was a human right to have access to medical care. Remember that? That was a shit show. Shit at the fan over that one. All the accusations that minorities don't have access. You have a right to healthcare access. And so they came up with the Obamacare thing. And the people filed suit and said, no, the government does not have a right to force someone to buy a product, health insurance. You don't have the right to force anyone to do that. It's not in their authority to tax or fine anybody. I'm sorry, take that back. They found that the Obamacare penalty, which was what happened if you didn't obey, was a tax. It wasn't a fine, it was a tax. And so therefore, Obamacare wasn't a law mandating anything. It was just a tax. I call it an unapportioned special tax that was discriminatory on its face. But, you know, what do I know? Justice Roberts is supposed to be a smart guy. Well, Austria and Greece, folks, they're going to start fining citizens who refuse to get the Jim Jones juice. Well, it's not a violation of their rights. It's just going to be a special tax for those who don't want to get the Jim Jones juice. I'm sure they'll find a way in every country to fuck their people over, to lie to them, to steal their rights. Folks, it is intellectually dishonest for these people to do the things they do, but they don't care. They are dishonest, they're criminals, they're corrupt, they're immoral. What do they care if you say what they're doing is intellectually dishonest, the way they're going about screwing the world's people? Right? It's a shit show, and it's showtime. And it's SHTF. It has hit the fan, and these fucking people are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. And guess what? We've got record low temperatures in Europe already. That's right, folks. Sweden has already registered negative 37.5 degrees centigrade, which is negative 35 Fahrenheit. Schools in the United Kingdom, that is England, are forced to shut, and bigger freezes are inbound. Folks, weather control, weather is a weapon, right? Colds, though, let's just talk about cold and what it does. It makes regular flus worse, as well as colds and cough, standard cold, common cold, as they called it. And it gives governments the excuse to push their bullshit, BS, social distancing, and their other mandates. It's cold. Everyone locked down. It's cold. Do this. It's cold. Do that. They have become Mother Biden in a poopy skirt. All countries have, right? And it's funny, folks. Just think about it. Do you like coincidences? I don't. Funny how Biden called for a dark winter, a cold winter, and here it comes. Funny how the Secretary of Energy for Biden says we will have rolling blackouts. And both the EU, the European Union, and the United States are bracing for Arctic cold, power shortages, all while the cost of fuel, propane, natural gas, and even electricity are skyrocketing to the moon, Alice. Coincidence? Not in my world, not anymore, folks. It's showtime, and they're turning it up. They're letting us have it. It's showtime. We have a two-tiered system. Peasants are masked, but not 90 Proof Nancy. Once again, these hypocritical leaders are spotted not wearing a mask, while others are forced to wear masks where there are mask mandates. That's right, 90 Proof Nancy was spotted in a District of Columbia party, unmasked. And folks, if there's anyone that needs a mask, it's Nancy. Not because of cerveza bug, but so that I can keep my dinner down. That is one hideous bitch, and I am sick and tired of her horse shit. Same with Biden, same with Walensky, same with Dr. Doom, same with all of them. I've had it with their shit. Up Chuck Schumer makes me want to up Chuck. It is too much. It is way too much. But they're not quitting. They're not going away. They're not being silent. Not at all, not a bit. Now, shall we carry on? You bet. Let's just carry on. But not until we get a special word from our new sponsor. Hey folks, at the Prepared Mind channel, we take your health very seriously. That's why we recommend the Jim Jones Juice. That's right, the Jim Jones Juice. Get yourself a can today.
Just the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality. Not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day, all the year around. No matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in.
There's nothing like hitting the Jim Jones Juice, laying one down, and feeling that stuff enter your bloodstream. Oh.
Did Bill leave his pop and candy only half eaten? No, sir.
Oh, heart attack. Defibrillator. Clot. Don't forget, call an ambulance when you get your Jim Jones Juice, because it's that good. I've watched that dozens of times now, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. But what isn't funnier, folks, is what they're doing to our food system. Back in the 1980s, Burger King had a advertising campaign, came up with a great slogan. In fact, a little old lady from that was in the commercial, I believe she went on to a very short but interesting acting career, starred in a Sylvester Stallone movie. The little old lady kept asking the question, "Where's the beef?" Well, what has our good buddy Gil Bates been telling us we need to eat? Bugs. How would you like to sit down and watch a movie, a Stallone movie, with the little old Where's the Beef Lady, and sit down to a big crunchy box of beetles, or maybe some tasty cockroaches? Yum, yum. Well, they're going to make it happen one way or the other. Not because we want bugs, folks, but because we're going to have other issues. Up in Canada, oh, Canada, a Cargill plant. Cargill is a massive food corporation. It is one of Canada's largest meat packing companies, and it served notice, folks, that it's going to lock out 2,000 employees at its High River plant if they aren't able to come to contract. They got to come up with a contract. Cargill says it has a deadline. The United Food and Commercial Workers of Canada, a local union, another union, folks. So what they're threatening, as we're having, we've been hearing about reports of shortages of food, empty shelves. Here in the U.S., the CFTC, is it the CFTC or the FTC? FTC, Federal Trade Commission. They're wanting to know from retailers, why are your shelves empty? We've been hearing from United States meat packers, well, you know, cerveza bug. Prices are going up. They're printing money. Printing press is just spitting money out and giving it to their banks and their buddies. Yeah, folks, and I don't say that lightly. They're fucking us. And now we have yet another food producer. No, we're just gonna lock out everyone. Everyone get out of the food plant. We're shut. So, I mean, who's to blame on this? Is it Cargill for being a bunch of greedy pricks? And we're not going to have meat? Or is it the workers there that are a bunch of greedy, selfish pricks? And they're causing this problem by being in a union and saying, fuck you, we want what we want, or we're not going to produce. Either way, folks, the net result is going to be even less meat available on the market. Where's that Impossible Meat Burger? Give me some of that. Where's my cricket sandwich? I got to have that. I need some beetle grubs, you know, in my stew. Is this what's going to happen? Are we going to run out of meat because workers don't want to do their job? But I guess these same workers are going to leave the Cargill food plant and go to work for the bug industry? I mean, are we just going to have starvation? Are we going to start having shortages of food, period? Now, I have to admit, and I don't say this with any glee, I don't say it with a whole lot of glee that, you know, they've jacked the whole system up. Americans are fat. Americans are overweight. Americans are obese. Even the books, folks, the medical books say I'm obese. 6'6" at 265 pounds, I'm obese. I'm like, are you sure? Well, that's what they say. But yeah, we are a little fat. We could use a little bit less, you know, fat and protein and carbs in our diet. But this is what they're doing, folks. But it's two sides. Not only is it a shortage of food, which is causing a lot of concern, but prices are going up. And Cargill, time to shut that plant down. I want to thank everybody out there. Thank you. You know who you are. If you're sending me information, understand you're overwhelming me. You're sending me too much. At the same time, I don't want to say, don't send me shit anymore. Just send me stuff you know is mind-bending and earth-changing. And that'll make sure that, number one, I get the really juicy stuff. Number two, right, I don't get overwhelmed. But it has been overwhelming regardless with all the news out there. And you guys have been terrific at shuffling me stuff as the Prepared Mind Network comes together and puts all of this information out here for you to consider. Folks, I'm not telling you what to do. I won't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. It's not my job. My job is to bring you information, some opinion, some thoughts, some perspective, and then you get to make your own decision. That's really the extent of what I want to do here. I want you to get prepared. I'll tell you that. The choice is yours. It's always your choice, folks. It's your choice whether you prepare. It's your choice whether you want the Jim Jones juice. It's your choice if you want to submit to tyranny or if you want to fight for your freedoms. It's your choice. There's always a consequence either way. You don't want to fight for your liberty? Then get used to living as a slave. It's your choice. Either of them, both of them, are not going to be fun. One of them, though, allows you to live as you wish. Now, let us move on if we shall. We've got more SHTF crap. And I really wish I could have been here to do questions with you guys, Q&A. But today I had some personal things come up. A personal opportunity came up and I got to take care of it, folks. I'll be back, though, tomorrow. Definitely be back. But get this, folks. You think you're free now? That can end really damn fast. Really damn fast. And despite, folks, federal judge saying that President Biden's mandate are unconstitutional, Penn State University is going to keep people on its January 4th mandate deadline. And if you don't, you're going to get education and counseling. And so the university, folks, here's a quote. Many of you know the mandate is being challenged in the courts, so we don't know the outcome of that process yet. But we are planning around it prevailing, meaning they're planning on it winning. That's Joe Biden's side winning. And so implementing that mandate. We've got to prepare because there's not a lot of runway between now and January the 4th. So they're like, okay, the president has been stopped by courts. Several decisions now have stopped him, but they're still planning on going ahead with the mandate and then educating you. Now, I know that education is a really simple concept. Well, it was in my world. See, when I went to school, when you were educated, they gave you information and you had to regurgitate, that is, tell the teacher what they taught you. There's a big difference, though, between regurgitating what the teacher taught you and believing what the teacher taught you. Do you think they're really going to convince anybody? Or are they just going to badger the shit out of them? It really comes down to badgering the shit out of you. You have to go to a course, a class, and have the shit badgered out of you. And I bet some people will change their mind. That's called brainwashing and indoctrination. There could be even a penalty on it. We're going to badger the shit out of you. And at the end of the badgering, if you don't change your mind, then you're fired. It's kind of like this other woke shit where somebody says something and someone's offended and they demand an apology. So you give them an apology, then they fire you anyway. They're going to demand you get educated. And if you don't take their opinion as gospel and act on it their way, then they'll fire you anyway. That's the world we're moving into, folks, where you're damned if you do and you damned if you don't. But you damned better well understand there's a consequence for everything. It is your choice. The consequences are yours to live with. I would rather live with my life, my consequences from my decisions, and deal with the fallout economically, personally, politically, whatever, than to do what they want to do and shoot me up full of Jim Jones juice and have all kinds of medical issues, short and long term, as well as continue to put up with all of their bullshit. Because there's no getting away from it. Their badgering, their harassment is not going to stop. It never has. It never will. They can't stop. Tyrants only know one thing, and that's continue to screw with you day after day. So believe what you're going to believe, folks, and have the courage of your convictions. Understand the choice is yours. And here we are in the middle of SHTF, and it's showtime. They are coming at us from every fucking direction, folks. And you have to stand firm. You have to know what is right stand for what is right or don't stand at all. And folks, there's a lot of people that continue to peel off the freedom crowd and go over to the sheep pens, where the sheep goes in and follows the other sheep in circles. And sometimes a Judas goat comes in and leads the sheep into the slaughterhouse where they get killed. There's people right now, folks, heading to the sheep pen. There are people in the sheep pen. There are people heading into the slaughterhouse. And there's people dying. I am not going to head to the sheep pen because I know ultimately where those sheep are sent. Now, this guy is a giant asshole. And you're gonna have a good laugh. Yeah, you're gonna go, oh yeah, he probably does have one. Pete Buttigieg thinks that Americans who want to complain about high gas prices, they should just shut their pie holes. Right? He says you should just go buy an electric car. You see, that's how out of fucking touch. That's how out of intelligence these assholes are in government. They're like, oh, anyone can just go buy a car. No, I don't want to buy a car. There is a shortage of automobiles that are new in this country, period. And now he's recommending that Americans, if you don't like high gas prices, just go out and buy an electric car. Go buy an electric car that is not available anyways. If you're concerned, Pete Buttigieg, what an asshole. What an asshole. And calling him an asshole is appropriate because of what Pete Buttigieg is. He's an asshole. If you don't like illegals coming to America, folks, just buy a rocket and move to Mars. Is that coming next from Butt Plug Man? If you don't like something, just pull money out of your ass. A lot of ass jokes with this guy, isn't there? How appropriate, too. I tell you, I hope you have a good drink tonight. I hope you're relaxing. I hope you get the chance to chill a bit. Sit back and reflect on what has happened to our world. The idea, remember this idea? Ready for this? Remember when you could wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm going to go to my job. I'm going to kick some ass. I'm going to get that raise. I'm going to work towards that raise. I'm going to work towards that promotion. My kids are awesome. They're going to a great school. Remember when you used to think that? I'm doing great at work and my kids are going to a great school. Remember when you used to wake up and say, I have a great job. I'm going to get that promotion. I got my kids going to a great school. America is the greatest place on earth and we can fix and do anything in America. That wasn't too long ago, folks, when we used to believe in America and that somebody would get it right and fix things. Someone somewhere will invent the right thing. Someone somewhere is going to get elected that does the right things, makes great decisions. My faith in that America is gone because faith in America has been placed incorrectly. Americans, folks, we have placed our faith in the hands of a bunch of perverted lunatics in Washington, D.C. And if you don't like illegals coming to America, just buy a rocket and move to Mars. If you don't like high gas prices, just buy an electric car. That'll solve all our problems. Folks, we're already facing rolling blackouts coming as this cold starts hitting, as winter hits. We don't have enough electric infrastructure to power our own homes, much less a national fleet of electric cars that don't even exist. And as they come into existence, as they're being manufactured, electric cars, folks, as they're being manufactured, how do you think you're going to power them if the power is out at your house? It was amazing a couple years ago when that happened in California. Fucking morons in the Bay Area were having rolling blackouts. And they're like, we got rolling blackouts for 3 days. Can't charge our cars, can't go to work. Well, little do they know that in a couple years, Cerveza bug would hit and they wouldn't be going to work anyway. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what these people are doing, folks. And I want to give you a taste of what they think of you, right? These fucking assholes in Washington, like Pete Buttplug. Well, then there's Eric Swallowwell. Remember him? He's the asshole that was sleeping, having an affair with a Chinese spy. Fang Fang. Her boy toy, Eric Swallowwell, who is an elected representative, is on, I think, a Foreign Intelligence Committee in Congress. How can a guy who is sleeping with a Chinese spy be allowed on that? Oh, wait, he's a Democrat. Now, this guy's a giant asshole. He's threatened the country, folks, I believe, with nuclear weapons. That's right, we got the nukes. Wasn't he that dickhead in Congress telling the American people, well, you want to keep your guns, we got the nukes. Essentially threatened us with nukes. The guy's a dick. He's an anti-Second Amendment, anti-constitutional dickhead who sleeps with Chinese spies. Well, he is now back in the news because he's lost his COVID patience. And he is accusing those who have not gotten the Jim Jones juice. He's accused them of threatening his children. That's right. He went in a Twitter tirade. This soy boy cuck of a puss. He says, I'm losing my COVID patience. I've tried to reason with the unvaxxed. I've directed some to medical pros. I don't judge, but hear them out and steer them to facts. The unvaxxed love to say it's about choice, but you know who doesn't have a choice? My 3 kids under 5 years old. Yeah, they don't have a choice, right? And he continues, blah, blah, blah. You have a right to not get vaxxed. Fine. Then business and government have a right to tell you that you're not welcome to patronize or you can't get on a plane. Because what right do you think you have to expose my kids to your COVID? As parents, let's own the outrage. The loony carnival barkers at the school board meetings do not reflect where most parents are. Your unvaxxed status is creating new variants. So get your damn shot or stay inside your house, but don't mess with my kids. This fucking guy is a dangerous clown who has already threatened America with nuclear weapons over their guns. Now he's saying that he knows what parents believe. Most parents don't like the carnival barkers. Carnival barkers? I thought they were domestic terrorists, you left-wing prick. He says that their opinions at school board meetings do not reflect where most parents are. Yeah, most parents are in America and they believe in America. It's these left-wing communist fucks that are changing things. You know, Jackass Swallowswell says, your unvaxxed status is creating new variants. No, it isn't. The new variant came from Africa. It's called the unicorn variant, right? I mean, how many variants are there? Oh, yeah, and it's always us that are creating it. Yeah, it couldn't be the fact that someone who got the Jim Jones juice, who has a weakened immune system now, who gets, what are they calling it? A breakthrough infection, and their body can't fight it off, so they get sick and they get hospitalized. In the UK, they're dying 4-1. 4 Jim Jones juicers die to every 1 unjuiced. It seems to me that there's a lot more of them getting infected and dying than those who haven't got the juice, that these people that are struggling along before they die, they're creating the new variants with their weakened immune systems because their immune systems aren't crushing and destroying Cerveza bug. And he says, well, get your damn shot. No, fuck you. You take it for me. Right? Stay inside your house. No, you stay in your house. If you're the one that's scared, you stay in your house, Swallowswell, and you keep your chitlins in your house, Swallowswell. He says, but don't mess with my kids. Tell you what, fuckstick, don't mess with me, my rights, or the rights of any American. You are nothing more than an elected representative from a communist district. Get a little upset with these people, folks, because they think that because they have some sort of authoritative tone, because they have a seat on a chicken shit news station like CNN or some local affiliate crap hole station that fewer people watch than watch this channel. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. We have rights. I love how when they talk about our rights, they're like, blah, 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 you have rights. No, no, I have rights. It's above all of your authority in DC, right? I have rights, and businesses do not have rights. Businesses have privileges. A business is not born. A business is created. I was born. People are born. People have inalienable rights. Businesses are subject to government controls, and government is subject to constitutional restrictions. Period. God, people, Constitution creates government, allows businesses. Who are the bottom two on that rung? Business and government. So fuck off. Swallows well. But folks, he's not alone. He's not alone. He's not a lone voice of ignorance and fucking stupidity in a wilderness of ignorance and stupidity. He is the common coin of the realm in the world of communist fuckheads. Meaning, you know, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting someone as stupid as Swallowwell. But that's why we're going to have a massive, massive partisan conflict in this country. Ultimately, it's coming, folks. There's some asshole. And he went on a racist tirade against white people, calling for white genocide during a live audio conversation. And I guess this guy's name is hashtag Mayo Monkeys Gotta Go. No. It's a new feature on Twitter called Space. Let's see, a Mayo monkey. Is that a white monkey? Mayo Monkeys Gotta Go. Right. The topic of the conversation, folks, white supremacy. That's their topic, folks. That's what they're doing. They're trying to destroy anything that is wholesome and good and has to do with logic and reason and intelligence. And logic, reason, and intelligence are not owned by white people. It's owned by thinking and intelligent people of all genders, colors, races, religions, etc. But you have to apply intelligence. And they are not. That's why everything we look at, it's incredible. It's like, are they really that stupid, right? So this guy that has this channel where he wants to, you know, kill all whites, get rid of the Mayo monkeys. I think his name is Manuel Franklin, according to researchers. Right? Here's what, you know, was said on the show. I am for the white genocide. I am for the total erasure of the white race. You don't have to chop this up. Yes, for all you white bitches dying like flies, I am for it. I am for it. I support it. I am putting all your white opossums in a gas chamber. What is wrong with these people? Why is it that everyone on the political left are for the destruction of others? Right? Didn't I just talk a little bit about how we used to wake up in America and say, I'm doing good. I can get this. I can get it done. My kids are doing great. I have a pretty damn good life. I got a chance in America. And we're going to keep making it better. There are good people out there, and they're doing good things too, making America the greatest place on earth, the freest place on earth, the best place on earth. And what do we get out of all these political left scumbags? We get nothing but horse shit from them. We get nothing but lies. We get nothing but threats. Nothing but fucking destruction and death, destroying the American dream. Is it any wonder we're in shit? It's the fan, folks. Is it any wonder that we're now in showtime? Absolutely, folks. Is there any wonder that we're in showtime? No wonder to me. It's absolutely no wonder. They want to say, I'm losing my COVID patients. I tell you what, I'm losing my constitutional patients. He says, I've tried to reason with the unvaxxed. This is Swallowswell again. Well, I've tried reasoning with those on the left, and they don't understand reason. They're not intelligent. So I can't believe that you offered any reason to the vaxxed or the unvaxxed. The left doesn't offer reasons. They offer talking points and commands. I've directed some to medical pros. Yeah, well, I've found medical professionals that say, don't take the damn Jim Jones juice. He says, I don't judge, but I hear them out. bullshit. You do judge them, right? I judge the left. You bet I'm going to say it. I don't lie about this shit like this pile of shit swallows well. I don't judge. The fuck you don't, you pile of shit, right? And I steer them to facts. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to steer you to the Prepared Mind. You can go listen to the videos by medical professionals around the world who have treated cerveza bug, treated the variants, and cured them, not with huge hospital bills, but with simple, cheap, effective, long time studied and used medications out there that are readily available and economical. Expose kids to COVID. Who exposed kids to COVID? The people who created COVID. What an asshole. What an absolute abject moron all of these leftists are. They believe in murder and death and destruction coming after us. We're going to have some differences of opinion, and we're going to meet on the street eventually. Are you prepared for that? That day is going to come, folks. And it's going to be showtime. The movie of the day will be Mad Max. Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Do you have a plan? Do you know out there? Do you know? Do you know who lives in that 10-mile radius around you? There's a dot in the middle, and you have 10 miles around you. You know who's around you? Who could come into your world and make it change very quickly? Are you prepared for that? I sure hope you are. Right? And if you're not, get over to thepreparedmind.club. See what we have. Go and shop elsewhere. Compare prices. Compare quality. I don't care. Just get prepared. Having something is better than having nothing when the shit hits the fan. Big time. Remember, there's going to be jackasses like Swallowwell on your street. Well, I tried warning everybody to go get the Jim Jones juice, and now look what happened because you wouldn't listen to me, the neighborhood idiot Democrat. Right. There's just too many, there's just so much going on. I can't even quote all the stupid. It was racist to shut down air traffic from China, which I think Trump took too long in doing. We hear a little bit about the unicorn virus, and Biden shuts down traffic to Africa, and no one says anything about racism. And it never was about race in the first place. It was about labeling us, you, me, the good people of America, as racists, and continuing this narrative of white supremacy, and then holding up and saying white genocide is a good idea. Really? Tell you what, why don't you go over to a country where there's not many white people and get rid of, and see how that works for you, right? Just abandon your rights, get rid of your rights and go over to a country and see how it works out. A country that is run by a bunch of anti-white racists. See how well those people live. You know, I don't know where a place like that is, but we can give it a shot. I wouldn't want to live there. I'm not going to go to Thailand. I'm not going to go to Middle East, Far East, Near East. I'm not going to go to Africa. Fuck that. That's not my culture. That's not my world. And frankly, they can do what they want. As for me right here in the United States of America, I already have my tradition, my history, my culture. I already have my rights, my constitution, my laws. I already have my religion, my belief systems. I already have all that I need right here. And I plan on living under it until I die under it, because I'm an American. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Folks, get prepared. I'm going to be back tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again. Tomorrow we will definitely do the Q&A. So get your questions. We got a bunch of shit going down. It is the holiday season, folks. Are you prepared? You know the answer, right? Are you prepared? It is the season of giving, right? The Christmas season is the season of giving. Why don't you give the gift of being prepared? Get the address right up here. There it is. There's an address up there, internet address. Share this video. Share it with others. Tell them to come to the Prepared Mind and start learning before it's too late to take action. Godspeed to you all. Semper Fi. See you soon.
Come on, man.